Right. This. See how it comes out. That clouds look better than I do. Get over here so the clouds show through. That looks better. Looks better than looking at me, right? Hey YouTube, what's going on? Quick video. We'll see who drops in here. I'll do a little run on what I see in the economic situation. Is I have failed to address it in a recent video. Bug Out Bubba caught me on my last video, not even mentioning the economic collapse, calamity, hyperinflation, whatever you want to call it, that is upon us as a part of our matrix study. But yeah, if it's like the warming up of the band is beginning, the fat lady is definitely about to sing, I think. Or I shouldn't say that. Um, we're not going to get a collapse. We're going to get hyperinflation and a controlled economy, more so than what we have now, and thus the rise of the police state, which we've talked about incessantly, to our own dismay and to our own our what's the word for it? Our own detriment. Will be detrimental. Hey Angel, what's going on? Couple things. Elizabeth Warren came out today and called out the Federal Reserve and their policy. Elizabeth Know Nothing Warren is now calling out the Federal Reserve for being reckless in their policy. What does that tell you? As I said in the description box, is that her being a distraction and trying to get everybody off their game, is being distracted that what is this Federal Reserve thing, and to detract everybody's attention from something else? Or is that their way of getting to the people and conditioning them for what's coming? There can be two different ways that goes, because she's never spoken about anything important her entire political career, and to come out with something that on point and that relevant and that true is disturbing. I would say, at least for me. So she did that. That came out at the same time as Trump is asking the Fed to keep pushing the metal to the pedal to the metal on quantitative easing and other fiscally irresponsible means. He's continued to encourage that, and waiting for this interest rate cut by the Fed coming up here at the end of the month. We shall. Is it Wednesday that the Fed rate decision is coming up? It's going to be the big thing, right? We got all that stuff angling toward each other, right? You've got well documented issues with economic stability. Gold and silver are becoming unhinged. Silver has spiked its dollar over this last 7-8 days, which is what, over 6%, which is, silver's volatile, but we'll see how that trends up. So tying these things together, right? What else? The food shortage is a concern by everybody, although it's not well documented. It does seem to be regional at this time. There hasn't been anything seen in this area yet, and in my own anecdotal research, haven't seen canned vegetables or anything else shortage just yet. Hey, what's up, Rooster? What's up, Tony? Hey, Bikes, good evening. Kick one back, Bikes. You got the grill going? But Delaware, what are we talking about? Sun's still out. It's still daylight. uh, um, have you observed the gas prices? I think the gas prices are a big tell, or it's the next phase of the controlled economy. Oil prices haven't budged, and we've had multiple incidents in the Straits of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf, and sparring with Iran. Multiple incidents. Has that ever happened since the 70s, where we've had oil and gas prices absolutely not even budge? Not that I can think of. Um, so either one of two things: they're irrelevant, and everybody knows that they're irrelevant, and the traders aren't reacting, or the oil price has now been manipulated to control it like silver and other commodities. They have the corner on the market um, with how they've suppressed it over the years. They've suppressed it enough, got enough futures contracts, got all their shorts and longs situated in a way that they can control the market in a window where they want it. And that's just another big, huge piece of the economy that they can control to do what they want. Because any other summer, wouldn't we? I mean, around here, it's been right at $3, $2.95, $2.99. It spiked there for that one brief blip, like $3.25 for like a week, which, based upon what the prices were in the winter, $3.25 would be normal, you know. And to have this now flat all summer, either they've controlled it or people aren't driving, people aren't going on vacations, people aren't using fuel, people aren't using oil-based products, people aren't buying plastic, or is the being that really that suppressed? Possibly. I haven't seen any much evidence for that, um, other than not stopping myself, I guess you'd say, which is nothing unusual. But the price of oil being subjugated below 60 with all this chaos in the, especially the Gulf generating regions, Venezuela, um, is definitely interesting. Is America, you know, we raised our output over this past year to be basically a new record output for America, but does that really offset the other problems that would usually be speculative and cause higher prices on any other given year? Interesting to see how that plays out. So you got a lot of things kind of coalescing here. Then today, we had the big kahuna burger. Not only did Warren open her mouth about the Federal Reserve, but Congress and the president agreed, sat down, shook hands. Nancy Pelosi and Trump, who were on the same team, we've been saying they're on the same team, they are kicking the can down the road, as they always do. The debt ceiling has been removed for the next 2 years. You have no debt ceiling. The details on what Nancy Pelosi is getting out of this deal are yet to be revealed, but I'm sure they're not small. They're not tiny. They're not going to be insignificant. I'm sure. The So the debt ceiling being removed for years. What does that really mean? That means super government spending. You think the government debt? I mean, what are we going? We're going to 26 trillion, 27 trillion in the next 2 years. Are we not? I mean, how can it be anything less? Because they're going to spend more than they spent the year before, and more than they spent the previous years combined. Are they not? That's the whole goal of it, is it not? But everybody's going to give them a pass, both sides. Democrats are going to ignore it. Republicans are going to ignore it, or I shouldn't say Republicans. I should say Trump voters, because there's apparently a big difference between that now too. The divergence is being shown. The political class still palling around, showing themselves to be who they are, but people are still going to try to play sides against each other, not realizing the rulers are up there laughing at them as they play them against each other. So yeah, a lot kind of coalescing together, and kind of as we get in the midsummer here, you know, really where gas prices should be peaking here, and nothing, and then extreme government debt and spending is coming. You would think, and a possible Federal Reserve rate cut to increase spending and increase fake money, increase debt, all leads to hyperinflation. That's the only road this goes down. You know, it's the only place this can go. But that oil price really has me wondering if they have that market cornered, and they are now going to control the oil price, just as they have done silver and other commodities, in a way that prevents excessive prices in certain markets, because oil is so heavily used in so many different products, just as silver is. So that's kind of the monologue here, and kind of the eyes wide open, right? Like, look at what's going on, because it's the people palling around together on the same team, controlling the people, and people aren't. I mean, I'm sure everybody's on summer vacation and enjoying their summer, unless you're in a blackout on the East Coast, which is just recent. Or New York City's had multiple blackouts over the last 2 weeks. The East Coast is in a blackout right now because of storms, though. I mean, storms cause power outages, I guess. I haven't looked into the details of that, but still, multiple events keep building upon each other to should raise everybody's prominent concern enough. Let's check in here. What's this? Rooster checking in. Tommy Boy 9, what's going on? It's late for you folks back east. What are y'all doing? M. Long says it'll be cost push inflation. I'm not sure what push inflation is, but yeah. They didn't even mention the debt ceiling is nothing more than mocking the public. Right, Bikes? It is. But them also disavowing it in the legal sense, too. Hey, Chance, what's going on? Good evening. Why does it sound like I'm near the ocean, Delaware? Wind, I guess you'd say. Mostly wind. Sounds like waves crashing. Interesting. Hey, Christine, what's up? $1. Yeah, you did. That's $1. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for sending the $1. It says you sent $1. Right on. I don't know how it works either. Lights are on for you, Delaware. I think it's further north of you, Delaware. Actually, I think Pennsylvania was the big state in the map they showed that was out of power the most. It was like 800,000 homes or something like that. They were saying were storm outages, but I think it was all across the Northeast from a result of varying, summer storms, which happens. But combine that with a lot of the other infrastructure failures, it's a concern. Bike's got a restoration project. Hopefully it holds until you're done with that. You gotta cash that out, right? Right on. Hey, Walter Davis, what's going on? Oh, no worries, Christine. Thanks. And really, what that does, that just helps the channel in the algorithms more than anything. I think that's the biggest thing on something like that. So it all goes to a good purpose. Hopefully, getting the word out, right? Hey, what's going on, Saints? Cheers. Saints been working overtime. Saints had to do a series of videos out of his own goodwill because he had to redo his water gathering system. That's pretty good stuff. Go check those videos out from Saints. That's definitely serious prepping work going on over there. Boy has a 25,000 truck. You couldn't get it for 19, so it's a bad economy. Right, no deals are being given. No deals are going on the black market or on the free market. All right, yeah, Delaware, and you were just talking about today in your video about, kicking back and just kicking the generator on and getting through it, right? Whether the power's out or not. But yeah, and Dad on YouTube did a video today talking a lot about how things seem to be coming together, between the consumers not spending and the young generation, the generation that's in the job market now, that's going to be the earners or should be the earners. They're jumping off the train. They're not buying houses. They're not buying cars. They're not seeking all the stuff that previous generations did as much. Of course, you've got a percentage, right? But it seems like a smaller and smaller percentage of the population is going after the stuff as they used in previous generations. Having the house in the suburbs is not what cuts it anymore. It's not what people go for. But yeah, Dad on YouTube just did a good video. Go check that out tonight. And talking about his anecdotal, check of the Walmart shelves in his area, and Westwind did the same. I did the same this weekend, and we didn't seem to have any shortages here at the Walmart or the grocery store. But it could be, maybe it takes time to get across through the different systems, but we shall see. But with all this other stuff combined on the economic side, it's going to be, I don't know, it just continues to heighten. Somebody was, I guess it was Delaware. Delaware was talking about the comparison between Puerto Rico, what's going on, and that is a lead up to what's going to go on in the rest of the country. I'm not sure if I believe that. I wouldn't say I don't think it's a test run, but it could be a sign of things to come. Um, because really the days of testing things are over. It's time. It's go time. It's everything has been tested that the government needs to test. It's just a matter of how to implement them without shaking up the shaking things loose out of the trees. They don't want to make the people nervous. They don't want to make the sheep nervous, etc. Hey, who's that? Diligent Dirge. Must regional shortages. Yeah, on the food, it could just be a supply issue somewhere in a warehouse. It could maybe warehouses got flooded during the floods. It kind of distribute to certain areas. It definitely seems to be regional in some way. I guess somebody in Washington didn't have them on the shelves, but down here and in California it seems fine. I don't know. It's just interesting. Store to store where Delaware is. Chance the FBI raided the Water and Power today in Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Water and Power Department got raided by the FBI. Is that wow? Is that right? That's interesting, Chance. I don't. That's wow. I don't wonder what that's all about. Like they off shooting water to China or something, or like what would they be doing? You think? Dirge, you're in Reno? Right on. Yeah, I haven't seen nothing here either. Right on. Thanks for checking in. I have to go check you out after we're done here. Fellow Nevadans gotta stay on the. Jet. Jet 001? You tuned into him? He's up in your area. Hey, Irish USMC, what's going on? How's things? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, they aren't saying why, right? Chance. Yeah, it's not like a search warrant should be public information, right? Probably cheating on pay rates. Oh, you mean like water and sewer rates, like how much you pay? That would be typical, wouldn't it? The more you, I would say that the water prices are suppressed, especially in LA and in Vegas. You guys get cheap water for the relative expense of getting it there. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Dirge, Jet 001, JETT 001. Go check him out. He does a lot of shoot 'em up stuff. It's kind of his thing. Yeah, either that or a hacker. Yeah, but you wouldn't do a raid if they were trying to just help him out. They would just slide in there under the radar, like low and slow and cool. If they did like a legit raid, like that's weird. That's very interesting. You got to figure LA sheriff either called him in for assistance or it's a federal level crime. Well, I mean, transporting water across state lines illegally. Hey, what's up, Redneck Prepper? What's going on? Good evening. Kind of late for you to check in, isn't it? Bikes, you think there'll be a sales tax on water? That doesn't even make any sense. Oh, Irish, you've been without internet? Is that right? That sucks. The Daily Shooter moved down to Vegas from California. I did not know that. I'm not in Vegas. Well, like Bikes is in Vegas. I'm not in Vegas. I'm in Carson. Daryl Norda, welcome to the chat. There's a new proposal to tax your air and water. Oh, sure. That's probably everywhere, right? It's always tax everything all the time. The Daily Shooter, huh? I have to go check him out. I haven't watched his channel in a long time. I don't watch a whole lot of gun channels anymore. Now, Redneck Prepper, I'm saying you're on the East Coast, right? It's late. I'd be in bed. Not that you're old. The tax is on the docket. Wait, what are you saying, Delaware? How am I a Californian? Just because of all the invaders that have surrounded us? Yeah. Okay, Diligent. I'll go check it out. I have to go watch that. Definitely a different experience, I'm sure. Well, one being, like how many days does it take in California? In Nevada, same hour, basically. Geographically, well, yeah, right. I mean, geographically, Californians are basically Nevadans because the state line should run down the middle of the Sierra, but that's a different discussion. Okay, Daryl, that tax is in California and Utah of all places. Yeah, Utah's got some weird stuff going on. They've been just as hijacked in a lot of ways as Nevada. Um, I mean, we had that last year. We were talking about Montana was talking about gun control, of all places, like the city of Missoula or something like that, was talking about proposing certain things that didn't get through, but still, you think Montana wouldn't be of a discussion. Yeah. So yeah, thank everybody for checking in. I just wanted to highlight some of that economic stuff that's on the radar that we haven't talked about in a while. That really, again, coalescing together. You've got a lot of issues, and when you look at the things that aren't happening that should be happening, and the things that are happening that shouldn't be happening, uh, it seems to the quickening continues. Um, but as they try to control the economy and inflation gets out of control again, that will precipitate the rise of the police state. And what you're seeing in Puerto Rico might not be a far-fetched fantasy for the rest of us, just for food riots and such things. You never know. So just putting that out there to keep your eyes open. See what you see on your end, and stay frosty, if you know what I mean. You never know. You used to have 10 acres, Redneck. I'm in Carson City, up near Carson City, Nevada. Not, or are you talking to somebody else? I don't know who's talking to who here. uh, Apple Valley, California, you're talking about? Redneck Prepper down there by Adelanto and everything, off the 15. I've been through there many times. Nothing makes sense anymore, says Delaware, right? It's not supposed to make sense, right? That's the whole goal. It does seem like keeping us off guard and unaware is part of the goal, right? Yeah, Walter, Vermont is pushing gun control as well. It was even floated in New Hampshire, which Vermont is kind of went liberal, but New Hampshire's like the last holdout up there. But they're getting after it as well. Breeze is starting to roll in here. Right, you live in Arkansas now. You were back there somewhere. You're always on the SOS and on daggone, forget his name now. Oh man, Full Spectrum. You're always on Full Spectrum Survivals chats and stuff. You're going to Tennessee, Irish? Seems like a lot of people are talking about Tennessee lately. If you're not going to Arkansas, Arkansas and the Ozarks are like the hot topic. But Tennessee and eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina are big popular destinations as well. People are getting after it. Well, I guess we'll just hunker down here and wait for bikes to have to E&E. Him and Tony will have to make their way up to us. All right, hey, well, thanks for checking in, everybody. Just want to put that out about the economy stuff. We haven't discussed much at all. So I think dinner time might be rolling in here, and we'll get something to eat. And we'll talk to you folks later. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for thumbs up. Thanks for discussion. You guys have a good night. Live free.